Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of our Pokemon Let's Play. So we just finished battling our rival, and he's basically explained that the guards towards the indigo, league to the left there, they aren't going to, let trainers progress until they've collected all 8 of the gym badges in Kanto. So we are going to basically take our team and journey towards Pewter City to start our challenge to, enter the Pokemon League Challenge. And as I say, last episode we had our first ever evolution. Chrysalis, the Caterpie, evolved into Metapod, so Roxas is very excited about that. But realistically, our plan for the episode today is to, take our team, progress through the rest of Viridian Forest, make it to Pewter City, and actually challenge the gym. So we're going to have our first gym challenge this episode, which is really exciting. Boulder Badge Brawl. We continue into the forest, where as we progress deeper down, we end up running into another trainer, saying that he's going to be the very best, like no one ever was, and then no one can defeat him. So out comes Chrysalis to his level 8 Caterpie. So for whatever reason, this trainer decided not to evolve his Caterpie when it was first able to. And Metapod just tackles and tackles, getting a critical hit. He's bound up in webbing to reduce his speed, but he just keeps on tackling. Just again and again and again, just trying to show that evolved Pokemon are just better, and why would you stay a Caterpie when you could be encased in armor like a Metapod? And so I suppose Roxas is really just sort of finding the change in Chrysalis's personality to be so interesting. He just seems really restless, he's just trying to come out of his shell, to pardon the pun. But yeah, again, with his competitive nature, he's just really wanting to just, prove that he's a pretty strong trainer. And I mean, he's been winning against Sora consistently throughout this. And what's interesting here as well is the fact that Metapod from this trainer is actually using different moves that aren't Harden. I'll be perfectly honest, I kind of thought all the trainers' Metapods were programmed like WoW Metapods, where they only use Harden. But yeah, they can tackle, so we gotta sub Chris out for Prince here. Again, one of the most strongest physical attackers we have. Pikachu being kind of the only special attacker really at the minute with his electric abilities using the special stat. But again, Prince just landing an absolute critical hit, just a complete monster of a Pokemon there. So one more Horn attack is enough to just completely, take out Metapod there, and winning us $80 in the process. And again, we read a sign saying there, just as we're coming to the end of the forest, don't steal trainers' Pokemon. And Roxas is just purely stunned. He's why would that concept never even entered his pure little mind, his pure little heart. He literally was who would want to steal Pokemon? Absolutely insane, And then here we have a level 10 Caterpie. I think this is one of the first times we've even seen Pokemon in the double digits of levels. So you know, it makes sense that this guy is like at the end, the like gatekeeper of Pewter City has a level 10 Caterpie, which again, I don't fully fathom why they don't just evolve their Pokemon. But anyway, that's neither here nor there, I suppose. But again, Prince just coming in like a knight in absolutely shining armor, just throwing horns and just taking out Caterpie with absolute ease. It was so simple for him. So simple. No issue whatsoever. And now Prince becomes one of the first Pokemon in our party to reach the double digits of levels. So like, congratulations to him. But stepping out of the forest, we reach the other side of Route 2. Roxas kind of looks over and notices kind of a cave, a tunnel system to the right there, but steps into the bustling city of Pewter. And, you know, entering the Pokemon Center, there's like a little round pink Pokemon, just having a little chill out on the side there. Maybe he's that trainer's Pokemon there to the left. But it just goes to show, the same with like the Chansey there beside Nurse Joy, there are Pokemon that are just in the overworld that don't necessarily need to be, you know, in Pokeballs or what have you. But while Roxas was in the Pokemon Center, he heard lots of people discussing the museum and the fact that there was like a deal for, you know, students at this time. So Roxas kind of takes upon himself to go visit the museum, and it was only $50, so not too bad. But he lets his other Pokemon out, and Huntress immediately flies straight to this like Aerodactyl fossil Pokemon, this just gigantic, majestic, ancient, prehistoric, you know, bird Pokemon that you know, Huntress is just enraptured by. And, you know, just walking along the different I suppose fossils and, you know, dead prehistoric Pokemon from like a long time ago. Upstairs, however, Nidoran male and Nidoran female, Prince and Princess, are just enraptured by these little shards of a meteorite, moonstones. They just kind of have their little faces pressed up against the glass. And then this little girl runs over to Roxas and like looks at Pikachu, and her dad even says, oh, like, I would ask to trade that Pikachu, but it seems way too attached to you to actually like take away. The adorableness is like too much to like deprive Pikachu of Roxas's companionship. But it does kind of bring up the question that like Roxas does realize, oh, actually, well, some traders do just trade Pokemon. They do just swap, you know, Pokemon for different ones. So, you know, would he ever trade any of his Pokemon? He's not sure, but that is something that is done, you know, in this world. And I suppose he just has to think heavily on looking at his different team. Would he trade any of them for something else? He doesn't necessarily think so. But again, seeing the Pewter City gym there, he figures, okay, I gotta go back to the forest and train up more. And so after this quick little montage, Chrysalis eventually becomes enraptured in this white light, and all of a sudden escapes his cocoon, revealing to be a Butterfree. And now gaining access to the move Confusion, an absolutely really useful move for this point in the game. But as we were about to leave Viridian Forest, and, you know, Butterfree takes its wings, a Pidgeotto soars down from the forest canopy, and Huntress, just, you know, wanting to be the most powerful flying type, literally jumps into action and tries to lower its accuracy with Sand Attack. There's like a back and forth, but Huntress wants to be the best flying type in the game, in the world, you know. So this Pidgeotto now would be an absolute, you know, prime chance for her to show her strength and prowess. And so we're lowering the accuracy. Pidgeotto starts missing, you know. We're like, excellent, this is great. But even through like 3 accuracy drops, you know, all of a sudden Pidgeotto has her down to like 9 hit points, and like we haven't even attacked her yet. So Roxas, just fearing for Pidgey, just says, no, Huntress, you have to come back. And this genuinely was kind of a character failing for Huntress. Like, you know, it would have been such a boon for her character arc and a big like trajectory for her. But now that she wasn't able to just take out that Pidgeotto on her own, there's an inferiority there. There's kind of a building, I suppose, sense of inferiority, you know? And meanwhile, as we're trying to just get out there, Princess eventually manages to level and learn the move Double Kick. And so with Prince and Princess now at level 12, Roxas feels ready to take on the gym challenge. And obviously as well though, he hears that they're like, it's like a rock type gym, so he's nervous for, you know, Huntress and Chrysalis, being that like they're both flying types, and especially Chrysalis because he is a bug and flying type, so 4 times weak to rock types. But again, being competitive, we're not going to skip this trainer. We're going to see where it goes. And one thing I never really got is that Brock is the rock type gym leader, and yet his lackey doesn't have a rock type in sight. He has a Diglett, which is a ground type, and he has a Sandshrew, which is a ground type. So is Kanto the region that's actually of 2 of the same gym types? First gym and last gym, both ground types? That's pretty suspicious if you ask me. But yeah, literally Chrysalis, after unlocking his like 3rd eye, his inner, you know, strength, is just throwing these Pokemon around the gym, blasting them with like psychic telekinetic energy around the place. And, you know, Huntress is looking over like the shoulder there, looking over like at this and just feeling really put down upon. Like, here was this little worm that just like crawled around on trees and like used its webs to like swing around the place, and here it is flying and having magical powers. This is absolutely ludicrous. But the gym trainer says, yeah, no, I mean, you're definitely strong enough to go face Brock now. So with a quick pit stop back at the Pokemon Center, we then return to the gym, ready to face down our first gym challenge. And yes, your Pokemon are all rock type, Brock, but your junior trainer out the front had ground types, and your rock types are also part ground types. So don't lie to me, you are a ground type trainer. But out comes Geodude, the rock with hands himself. Brock was that guy that had a pet rock, legitimately. But the useful thing here, at least for like Nuzlocke playthroughs where you don't want to get too over leveled, is that this Geodude only knows Tackle. So we can use Butterfree's move as a Metapod to harden, increasing our defense, meaning that like we are taking little to no damage, 3 damage a hit, absolutely nothing. And then because Geodude has low special defense, our Confusion special damage attack is absolutely melting through his defenses. The only other special attack we would have had would have been Pikachu, but obviously being ground type, Geodude would have been immune. So we're just going to harden just to see if Onyx is going to use Bide. He doesn't. So again, we literally fling this rock snake up into the air. You know, it was wild that, you know, a little butterfly is literally throwing this gargantuan with a critical hit and all, this like 6 foot tall giant rock snake around the place and over Brock's head, crashing into the background there. And, you know, Chris leveling up again to be on par with our 2 Nidorans, who both had a fighting type moves and could have contributed. But no, Chrysalis just comes in and steals the show. but definitely after causing a negative rift between Huntress and the other members of the party, with her wanting to be the best flying type, this is definitely not the way to go. But with that, we're going to call this episode to a close. And 1 gym down, 7 to go. And thanks for watching, guys. Leave a comment with what you thought of the progression so far. And I'll see you in the next episode. Have a good one. Bye.